We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhớ thiết chúng sanh. Thịnh chuyên nhiều pháp luân giao đạo ngã mùng, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and perfectly enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Thô Sư Chế Đô Ye A La Hơ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Ta Các Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya La Ha Đế Tam Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian wan jian an za yu wo jin jie wen de shou qi Yuan Jie Ru Lai Zhe Shi Yi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Ching Liang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors of Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、精良大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识、弥陀佛。Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Hương Đại sư Hòa Thượng Thiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 24th of December 2023, Christmas Eve everyone, it's tonight. Yeah, there you go, there's something here about to be played.
That we're thinking ourselves is special.
But you are, honey. It's okay. It's okay. You're so cheap. So I'm hoping that you, Asians, yes, you can recognize your original mind. But you don't believe me. You're saying, really? I have an original mind? Yes. You, that's special. I think it's overdoing it. You don't believe me. Life is wonderful. Life is perfect. As the way you are. Don't go looking for something else. It's so sad. But I only have you. Got that? Okay, you guys are. You here, you special. I'm so impressed. You're so good. You know,
Mwah! So impressive. No applause. I don't think you understand what I'm talking about. Before I have to go, mwah, then you like it. But when I say something that profound and serious, you say, okay, and? That's why you're so special. I'm not kissing you, I'm kissing your Buddha nature. Don't get me wrong. People say, the Korean is so happy, oh, Master likes me. No, I like their Buddha natures. Don't sell yourself short. You can be so much better. You can be so much happier. You can be such a beautiful person. You're so beautiful. Anyone else? He's talking about that you need to become enlightened. Yeah, excuse me. So violent.
That's how people feel about it, clearly.
We don't ignore the Koreans here because I still have a few more days. So let's not overdo it, okay? You're beautiful. All right, everyone, thank you. Okay. Keep it up. And remember, that's how marvelous you are. That's why we go, mwah! Because you're so special. You don't realize that your self-nature is so beautiful, so complete, so wonderful.
Okay, I understand. I overdid it a little bit last year. Sorry about that. But Merry Christmas, everyone. So nice to see you on Christmas Eve here. It's very special to be able to be with you, whether you're here or tuning in or watching this video another time. It's nice to be able to share this special time of the year with all of you. And it means a lot because, I've always enjoyed taking advantage of the Christmas time because I love it. The Christians, the Catholics, is their time to proclaim peace on earth. I loved it because it used to be the case where I would, when I was by myself on Christmas Eve, I would drive around, looking at the lights and just enjoying the peace that for that night that I would feel here in Los Angeles. And so I loved it. And as one of the special holidays I truly enjoy from gifts from God and the Christians. So it's a great thing. But also now I think as we have more and more people cultivating with us, it also I'd like to remind you that what we are about. This is a time we should remind ourselves that when they talk about peace on earth, they're talking about getting rid in your mind of your anger, your destructiveness, your vindictiveness, okay, your harming minds, okay? And that's what it's about. It's for us, cultivation starts within, okay? And we look at shedding our evil thoughts, our bad thoughts, and so that all that remains are the truly good nature, Buddha nature in all of you, which make you very special. Almost did it again. No more the rest of the year, I promise. Okay, and so please remember that that look at how what we are about is to get rid of the ickiness in our minds and our hearts. Okay, and that's how we bring peace on earth. Okay, it's not just words; it's about what we're doing something about it every day. That's what we stand for. And furthermore, also I want you to know that our numbers are increasing. I heard that there are a lot of people subscribing to the YouTube channel. Ching. Okay, and we appreciate that. But seriously, I want you to know that our ranks are growing so that we have more and more people who believe in being the good guys. Being good guys, again, the number one, cleanse ourselves of those evil tendencies, harming tendencies in particular. No matter how wrong people are, we have no right to harm them. Okay? And so get rid of those negative, icky things in your hearts, so that what's left is the goodness in your heart, a natural goodness in your heart that you're born with, that you're endowed with, and then utilize it to help others. Okay? And remember that you're not alone. We have a network of people who believe in this, and a lot of Dharma protectors who are helping us in this path as well. Okay, so remember, you're not alone. We are all in this together. All right, we can lean on each other. All right. Anyone else who'd like to say anything at all during this Christmas Eve here? Okay, no mushy stuff. All right, then we are now on 426. Today is the night where we explain the first chapter of the Flower Adornment Sutra. And it's about the world rulers. And so let's jump right into it. This is the verse area of where they're describing the understanding or the achievements of the celestial kings that who reside in the sixth desire heaven, highest heavens in our desire realm. Korean YouTube has a question.
We cannot hear you.
Sorry. 헤일님 질문입니다. 대승불교에서 마음이고 부처라고 하는데 어떻게 받아들여야 하나요? 그리고 그 마음을 어떻게 다스려야 합니까?
This question is from Hale. She says, the Mahayana is Buddha. Mahayana said, mine is Buddha. How should I perceive this teaching, and how should I teach my mind?
Mine is Buddha? Which sutra is that? What is the context of that teaching?
Master, there's no reply yet. We'll let you know when she's ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, when you ask me a question about the teachings, please give me a quote of the exact text that you got it from. It's a lot easier for me to give you a reference on the context. All right? Well, thank you. 426, pure light of wisdom fills all worlds. Those who see it cast out ignorance and darkness.
慧光清净满世间，若有见者除痴暗。
Okay, 427, commentary. Okay, the Buddha's wisdom emits light that is pure, undefiled, and it is a light that fills all the worlds throughout the universe. The universe consists of countless worlds. A world, as we call it, in Buddhism is actually a galaxy, as we know for people and for the layman. And so the universe is filled with countless galaxies. And each galaxy is called a Buddha land, where each galaxy was created by a Buddha for his work. And so this Buddha's wisdom here is able to reach throughout the universe. Okay? And the function of the light of wisdom is to help you see clearer. The reason when we see clearer, then we stop doing ignorant and dark things. Okay? Usually, ordinary people are impulsive. They do things based on their own impulses at the spur of the moment. And that is the nature of the ego. The ego is very impulsive. Okay? And it's very wishy-washy, your ego. Therefore, it's easy for it to justify itself because of the darkness in our minds. We cannot see better, so it's very easy for our ego to go either way. All right? And so that's why the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, what they do is they shine the light of wisdom on us. And the mere fact we're able to see clearer, then will reduce our causing bad karmas, okay, from ignorance and from being in the dark. 428, which enables them to stay far away from all evil paths. Celestial King Quiescence awakens to this Dharma.
令其远离诸恶道，极尽天王勿思法。
Okay, 429. The problem with creating bad karmas is that you will fall. No two ways about it. If you do anything that you're not supposed to, that's based on greed, anger, and stupidity, for sure you will fall. You plant the seeds. Every single karma you create, okay, a seed is created in your eighth consciousness, and you carry it with you indefinitely until it sprouts. Okay, and so therefore, when we commit karmas out of ignorance, out of being in the dark, these seeds multiply and multiply, and we do a lot of them. We humans have a tendency to create, we like to create bad karmas, okay, because it's appealing to us. We call it fun. We call it pleasure, okay, and because of that, we will fall into the evil paths. And it's very easy, by the way, for us to lose this human body. Once you're done with this human body, most of us will fall to the lower realms. In particular, monks and nuns, they fall to the lower realms. Too many of us, okay? We can be glamorous right now, have temples and followings and cars and clothing and name recognition and so forth. But it's so easy to fall to the lower realms. Very, very easy, okay? And so you learn, you have to be aware of it and therefore try to stop creating evil karmas, hang around with good friends, stay away from dark places, renounce your dark minds or evil tendencies. That will enable you to stay far from all evil paths. Okay? And this celestial king, quiescence, he became enlightened by contemplating this relationship of the Buddha's work. All right, 430. The light emitting from the Buddha's pores proclaims the names of Buddhas as many as the number of beings.
毛孔光明能演说，等众生数诸佛名。
Okay, 431. This is really inconceivable. What he's saying here is that in the first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra, we're learning that these big shots, these mahasattvas who manifest as worldly people, they're pursuing fame, they're pursuing power, but actually they're mahasattvas. And they pretend to do those things in order to help us, okay, and help the worlds. And so that's why these beings, these celestial kings, this particular celestial king, can see that the light that the Buddha's pores, the Buddha's, like our skin, has countless pores on his skin, okay? And each pore emits light, okay? And each light actually proclaims the names of countless Buddhas. There are as many as the number of beings, okay? Beings, living beings are countless. You cannot possibly count them all, okay? And so this light here from the Buddha's pores, actually, that's one of his functions. He emits this light here, and the light is not simply light alone, okay, that sheds light on you, but also has another function of reciting the Buddha's names. Okay? It's a rather fascinating, inconceivable state of Buddhas. Okay? And only Mahasattvas can see this. 432, sentient beings may hear whatever they enjoy hearing. Banner with wonderful wheels is liberated thus.
随其所乐，悉得闻，此妙轮床之解脱。
Okay, 433. Even though the lights on the pores of the Buddha's bodies, they emit light that proclaims countless Buddha's name, okay? We, sentient beings, happen to hear the names of the Buddhas that we have affinities with, that we enjoy hearing their names, okay? And so why do Buddhas do that? Why do Buddhas emit light from the pore to proclaim countless Buddha's names? It's because it's very beneficial for us to hear the Buddha's name. To hear even the Buddha's name brings us inconceivable benefits. For example, what do we have here in our world? We have very strong affinities with 3 Buddhas, okay, that Master YongHua tried to remind us. Number 1, Shakyamuni Buddha, okay? Number 2, Amitabha Buddha, number 3. What's number 2? Yeah, it's behind me. In the middle is Shakyamuni Buddha, okay? On the left, usually in Buddhism, the person's left is a more senior position, if you will, okay? So on the left is Medicine Master Buddha. On the right is Amitabha Buddha. Is that clear? So these 3 Buddhas here
have very strong affinities with us in this higher world. What for? What are they doing for us? Okay, many people know, especially the Asians, know about Amitabha Buddha. And we recite Amitabha Buddha's name because that Buddha promises that he made this Pure Land Dharma door available through Shakyamuni Buddha to help us get out of the wheel of reincarnation. Because living beings ceaselessly revolve this wheel, lifetime after lifetime, to the point where we are so deeply ingrained in it that we cannot get out. We don't think of getting out. It's very difficult to get out. The longer you revolve this wheel of reincarnation, the more difficult it is for you to get out. Because every time you have a new body, you're creating more evil karma. Therefore, you fall more chances for you to fall. Okay? So Amitabha Buddha knows that. So he says, I will create this Pure Land in the West called Western Bliss Pure Land, where I know here right now in Sahara world, you're suffering so much. Every day is suffering for you. Okay? All sorts of suffering, physical ailments, all sorts of pressure, all sorts of stress, okay? All sorts of mental illnesses that doctors don't know are incapable of helping you. And so we have so much suffering here. And that's why Amitabha Buddha says, recite my name 10 times with one mind unconfused, and I promise you that at the end of your life, I will come and bring you back to my Buddha land, where in one lifetime, where you never suffer ever again, okay? And in one lifetime, you become a Buddha just like me. That's Amitabha Buddha. And that's why the Chinese and the Asians are really, have a lot of people who believe in this particular Buddha and this particular Dharma door, because that's the best hope they have to get out, because it's not that easy to get out of this wheel reincarnation. Okay? So that's the role of Amitabha Buddha. And furthermore, until you get out at the end of your life, you have all these sufferings, all these needs. And therefore, Medicine Master Buddha says, you know what? I know you lacking so many needs, that you have illnesses, you are caught up in the externalist things that you cannot get out of, okay? These deviant tendencies you have that are overwhelming you, and these car accidents, train accidents, airplane accidents, among with your not being able to have adequate things that are necessary for your life, because you lack those blessings. Therefore, I'm here, recite my name. I will make sure that you will have the blessings to be taken care of. Okay? So in our outside world, we also need Mrs. Master Buddha's name and blessings in order to have a better life right now. Get some help right now. Not wait until we die and get Amitabha Buddha's help. We can get some help from Medicine Master Buddha right now. Okay? And so that's what Shakyamuni Buddha stressed in his Mahayana teaching. He taught, the two major Buddhas here. I've taught you a lot of Buddha's names and so forth, but in the Dharma ending age, I want you to focus on 3 Buddha's names. Okay? Myself, Medicine Master Buddha, and Amitabha Buddha. Okay? What about me? What am I supposed to do for you? Shakyamuni Buddha says, my job is to teach you a Dharma so that you become enlightened. All right? And so that's why these 3 Buddhas are extremely motivated to help us. But guess what? In our eras, in China, in Asia in particular, they believe in Amitabha Buddha, they believe in Shakyamuni Buddha, okay? But Medicine Master Buddha is losing grounds, is that Dharma is disappearing. Why? Because the monks and nuns who are teaching that Dharma door of Medicine Master Buddha Dharma door are not helping deliver the results of the of Medicine Master Buddha's Dharma door. So that's why it's disappearing. Okay, even to the point where, like Vietnamese Buddhism, they don't have that anymore. Okay, it's very hard. You'll be hard pressed to find such practices in Mahayana in most countries nowadays. Okay, even when Master Shuha brought that Medicine Master Buddha Dharma door here to the West, he did a lot to help me and a lot of people believe that Dharma door again. But after he's gone, the disciples, my generation, we failed to deliver the results of Medicine Master Buddha. Okay, very simple. We teach you things because they're supposed to be beneficial for you. Okay, and so unless we do a better job practicing these Dharma doors, they will stop being beneficial to others. Okay, and so I saw that. That's why I vowed to revive or strengthen the Medicine Master Buddha Dharma door again, and it says it's gaining grounds right now. People are believing more and more on that Dharma door. Okay, so here in Sao world, there are 3 Buddhas here that people, living beings, have very strong affinities with, and that's what we're advocating. Okay, any questions? And so banner with wonderful wheels was enlightened to that Dharma door. Okay. 434. The thus come one self-mastery cannot be measured in an entirely filled space and the Dharma realm.
如来自在不可量，法界虚空悉充满。
Okay. 435. We cannot gauge the Buddha's self-mastery. And this self-mastery fills the entire space and the Dharma realm, entire Dharma realm. Okay? And my question when I read this is then how did you become, attain self-mastery and you become self-at-ease? Anyone knows? When you're fasting, for example, do you feel at ease at all? No, you don't feel at ease. No, you feel miserable. Okay. Very good. Continue. Okay. How do you feel at ease? Right there, I gave you the example. Why do these people feel miserable? Jeju Island people. Why?
She doesn't know why.
I
don't know, I feel like throwing up 24/7.
You feel like throwing up? Come on. That's gross. God, you're Korean. Don't do that.
So why? Why do you think? It doesn't, it's been bothering you for almost 3 weeks now. Yeah? And you still haven't figured out why? You have a problem. Don't you want to know why you have that problem? Or you simply say, I have a problem, so I will never fast again. Is that what ordinary people do?
I want to know, yes, I want to know why I feel.
Because until you know why, you never want to fast again. Admit it. Admit it. You don't want to fast anymore. Now or never. Yeah.
Fasting is good, the throwing up is like unpleasant.
Okay. Anyone? So why? Yes. There's a monk here who's been fasting on his 9th day now. Yeah?
나라는 생각.
Going on 40 days.
예, 나라는 생각과 감각과.
It's supposed to be funny? I thought you meant it.
집착을 해가지고. 예.
You sound like you're suffering so much.
Hello? It's thought about myself and also having this sense. And it's an attachment as well.
Attachment to what?
That's me.
That's you?
That is me. Is the sense and the pain.
Sense the pain. Yeah. So you feel the pain.
Yeah.
And then what?
That is mind. That is me.
It's me.
Like,
Okay.
We are detached to that.
Okay, you need to detach from that.
Yeah.
Okay, have you detached from that?
Yeah.
You have? 40 days. Go. You have my blessing. Yes, sir. 5. Four.
Emitofuo Master, it's kind of interesting question. Like when he said, like, I should not be attached to my thoughts. Who is doing that actually? That's also another thought that is telling I should not be attached to thought, right? I'm sorry, I'm maybe kind of asking a wrong question, but to me it looks like I got to drop everything. Like I shouldn't even be having any position at all to drop thoughts or not drop thoughts, but not participate in any thoughts at all. Okay. So I'm kind of thinking in my mind, I'm thinking, but I think the mind has to completely go. Is that the way you see it or no?
Okay. It's not something that you can understand. What you're learning is that you have these thoughts of attachments. Okay? What people do, ordinary people do, they say, okay, that's me. Okay? I'm like that. So sue me. What are you going to do about it? Okay? And so they learn to accept it. They said, this is me. I think I have attachments, like it or not. That's me. Okay? You think you can do better? Be my guest. This is me. What we're learning here in Buddhism is that attachment arises from your ego. So the ego is the source of all these attachments. Worldly people, ordinary people say, so I have a self, I have an ego, so what? We're saying, because you have that ego, you're suffering. And if it doesn't bother you, live your life. Suffer. Okay? The ego is the main source of all the sufferings in the world. Think about it. All the bad things that people do is because they're driven by their egos. Agree or disagree? Okay? So if you say, okay, that's just me, then you say, okay, so I am part of this, the evil in the world. And the Buddha says, I don't have to accept that. You can accept that it's your life, but we don't have to accept it. We want to do better. That's a major difference, that's all. World people, they accept they have an ego, they worship the ego, especially is baked into the American Constitution, US Constitution, you know. We believe in the individual who's entitled to pursue their own happiness. That's the ego right there. So ordinary people are so confused. They said, okay, they worship the ego, and if you're going to get whatever you want, what's wrong with that? If you can get away with it, there's nothing wrong with it. And to us, it's not tenable of a position. Okay? You will not be able to put an end to the nagging and the pressures that arise from your own ego. You're the one, your ego is the one that makes yourself unhappy. You cannot run away from that. You can move to another place, to the Bahamas, retire and get a red car and everything. All you're doing is bring your ego to the Bahamas and then start over again in the Bahamas. Now, instead of doing evil American deeds, now they're doing evil Bahama deeds. Okay? They adapt, the ego adapts constantly. So that's why if you keep on worshiping this ego, indulging your egos, you will never know happiness, ultimately. And so the Buddhists know that. So they said, we want to at least have a chance to rein in the ego first, see if it works, okay? And then eventually kill it. And those who are able to destroy the ego, then know true happiness. Until then, there's no happiness in the world. That's what we are taught. That's what we believe, because many Buddhists before us have achieved that already. They're able to destroy the egos. And we're learning about these people. They are world rulers, so many of them. They're bodhisattvas, like Master YongHua. Many of his disciples, they can destroy the egos. So Shakyamuni Buddha's job is to teach us ways to destroy our egos right now, if you want to. It's up to you. No one is forcing you to do it. Okay? And if you are willing to learn, undergo the training, you can. And that's connected with the other two Buddhas as well. Okay? Because when you're able to destroy your egos, then you will have much better chance to go to the Pure Land. Or take better care of yourself, your illnesses, your professions, your security, okay? Your needs, your family needs, okay? Because you're much more capable. So it's a spiritual training of your mind becomes more refined, much better. Very much like in order for you to make a good sword, you need to build that steel, work on that. And that's what Shakyamuni Buddha does for a living. Yes, 8.
Thank you, Master. We have a question from our YouTube audience. And 'tis the season for finding joy in others. I would like to express to each and every one of our YouTube audience joining us tonight how much joy you bring us. Thank you for sharing your holiday time. Our question comes from Samson Lau. Samson asks, Merry Christmas, Master. Why do we have affinities with these 3 Buddhas? Is it because they are the closest in proximity to us?
We have affinities with them because they owe us. In the past, before they became a Buddha, when they were bodhisattvas in below levels, they were cultivating, and the people in this higher world, all the living beings in this higher world, helped them in so many ways. So that's why after they became Buddhas, they said, now I'm a Buddha, what am I supposed to do? So they said, since I'm a Buddha, I will, actually it happens a little bit before that, they become a Buddha. When they're getting ready to become Buddhas, they say, okay, I'm becoming Buddhas, okay? Retirement is out of the question. It's only for losers, okay? And so he said, since I am able to help more and more living beings, I'm going to create an environment where they can come and receive my protection and get close to me, and I can watch over them and guide them. Okay, and so that's what happened to Shakyamuni Buddha. He says, I create this higher world so that the people who are vindictive, who have tempers, who are ugly, and who are evil, can come to this world, okay? And then I will help them, okay? So that's why these worlds are created by Buddhas, and then don't think the Buddhas are very territorial at all. They create these worlds, but there's intersection. There are commonalities, okay? So that's why it turns out that we, in the past, a lot of us help Shakyamuni Buddha, and also help Medicine Master Buddha, and also help Amitabha Buddha. And that's why now they're back here. They created these Dharma doors called Pure Land Dharma Door, Medicine Master Buddha Dharma Door, or Chan Dharma Door, Secret School Dharma Door, and so forth, in order to help us to pay back the debts to us. All right? So they're pursuing us. Believe it or not, they're pursuing us. They're making themselves available to help us. So that's why when we hear their names, actually it establishes a connection between us and them to enable us to take advantage of their networks of supporters, of disciples, colleagues, and so forth, peers, and so forth. Okay? That's why they're here. It's inconceivable, trust me. Don't be alarmed by the fact you hear so many bad things in the news every day, but actually that's nothing compared to the good things that the good guys, the network of good guys are doing behind the scenes for us. Okay? Yeah. Yes, JMT.
A Di Đà Phật, con có 2 cái ý kiến. Thứ nhất là hồi nãy thầy hỏi tại sao mà tuyệt thực mà đói, muốn ói hoặc là không có cảm giác thoải mái. Thì con có chia sẻ kinh nghiệm của con. Lúc đó ở Lương Sơn Tự á, con đi hỏi thăm mấy sư cô là thầy dạy fasting như thế nào. Thì cô Nhẫn cô dạy con là uống nước thế nào, tuần lễ đầu thế nào thì con bắt chước. Con lấy dây con cột hai cái chân lại để không có bung ra, lúc lỡ mình ngủ thì chịu đau đớn khoảng 3 ngày. Thì sau đó là 12 tiếng đồng hồ con nhập định hay không hay ngủ con không biết. Nhưng mà thấy trong tích tắc thôi, mở mắt ra coi là 12 tiếng đồng hồ đã trải qua rồi. Thì ngay phút đó trở đi là 13 ngày liên tục không đau, không buồn ngủ, không đói. Suốt đêm cứ ngồi như vậy thôi. Cái thân nó nhẹ như bông gòn luôn. Thì đó là cái kinh nghiệm mà khi mình phát là mình không có lo nghĩ. Thì không có, thì con định là ngồi luôn 1 tháng luôn á. Nhưng mà thầy cho nhiều người vô kêu con ra nghỉ để ăn lại thôi chứ đủ rồi. Thì sau 13 ngày con ra. Thì đó chứng minh là mình không có suy nghĩ, mình nhập định đó, thì đói hay mỏi hay đau không thành vấn đề. Cái thân nó mỏi, cái thân nó nhẹ như bông gòn luôn, không có mỏi nhất chỗ nào hết. Một cái thứ hai, câu hỏi thứ hai là Phật Dược Sư. Trước đây con cũng biết Phật Dược Sư mà con không có tin nhiều vào để làm cái gì, còn pháp môn khác. Thì trước 3 ngày con đi mà Đại Hàn là giữa tháng 9 con nghe thầy giảng là Phật Dược Sư. Thì lúc bye bye đó lắc con thí nghiệm thử. Thì nó nhanh như là mình thổi đàn cày vậy đó. Thì con mừng quá, thì con cũng biết sao về tới Việt Nam thì có người cúng dường cho con một cái tượng Phật Dược Sư ở nhà sẵn rồi. Thì khi đó con đem lại chỗ chùa Sư Bà con gửi. Thì Phật Dược Sư cho con gần 3.000 ngôi xá lợi Phật Dược Sư. Bây giờ con đang giữ đây 3 màu. Một màu tím nhạt, một màu hồng phấn và một màu đỏ. Nghe nó Phật tử mấy đêm đầu tụi nó ăn trộm, con rất là buồn. Thì bữa sau con tới con thâu hết lại. Thì sau khi con quét sạch ở trên cái bàn thờ với cái sàn của chánh điện rồi, 30 phút sau hiện lên nữa. Thì bây giờ con có khoảng gần 3.000 ngôi thì Phật Dược Sư. Thì từ đó hôm nay con mới nghiên cứu, con thỉnh kinh Dược Sư con coi, rất là lợi ích cho chúng ta. Trong đó có điều nguyện là nếu quý vị tu tụng vô lượng thọ kinh hoặc này nọ mà chưa quyết định giảng sanh, khi quý vị chết tôi sẽ bưng quý vị qua thế giới cực lạc. Tức là Ngài giúp cho mình thêm chứ không có lỗ lời cái gì hết á. Kể cả tai nạn này nọ. Trên Pháp Dược Sư rất là hay. Mấy hôm nay con nghiên cứu 12 cầu nguyện của Ngài. Rất là thích thú. Xin hết.
Emitofuo, Master, I have 2 opinions. So first of all, Master asked about the fasting Dharma. Why do we want to puke and it feels very uncomfortable? I would like to share my experience that I was at Lone Mountain Temple. So Master has been teaching people about the fasting Dharma, but I didn't know how to do it. So I asked Venerable Shinran back then, and in these many days that you only drink this much of water, so I just mimic the methods. So then I use a rope to tie around my legs. So then for 3 days, so then in 12 hours, I was able to enter Samadhi. I didn't know what happened, but in instantaneous, that 12 hours passed by so quick. There's no pain, there's no sleepiness at all, no drowsiness, no hunger. It's very light, like a cotton ball. So I was thinking of sitting for a month, but Master told other people that it's enough. So you tell people to call me out. So I have to get out of my fast. There's no hunger, there's no tired, there's no pain, there's no problem for me at all because my body feels like a cotton ball. Second is about Medicine Master Buddha Dharma. Back in the day, I know about Medicine Master Buddha Dharma, but I have a lot of Dharma door, so I was busy. I wasn't able to practice his Dharma door. So then before going to Korea, Master taught us about when you go into the airplane, remember to recite Medicine Master Buddha name. So I recite the Buddha name like that, and the event happened that we have a turbulence right before reaching Vietnam, and by reciting his name, it turned off just like you put out a candle. So before reaching to Vietnam, people already prepare a statue of Medicine Master Buddha to make offering of the statue to me. So then I left the statue at the Venerable Old Nun. So then it gives birth to 3,000 relics. There's 3 main colors. One is light purple and light pink and red color. And I've noticed that, I've heard that people stealing the relics. So I was very sad and disappointed about that. However, I came back and I saw that the relics appear. So I started to collect them. And then I started to request the Medicine Master Buddha Sutra. And it was very helpful. One of the vows that he made when I read the sutra is that if you were reading about the infinite lifespan sutra and you still have not sure about where to go, then at the end of your life, I, Medicine Master Buddha, will personally bring you to the Pure Land and Western Bliss Pure Land. And I really like about this vow, and I've just been recently investigate about this 12 vow of this Medicine Master Buddha. That's all.
So this response from Medicine Master Buddha for you is from your current trip to Korea? Yeah?
A Di Đà Phật, con đi về Việt Nam có 21 ngày để chăm cứu.
So this trip.
Về Việt Nam. Bây giờ bên đó có người chăm cứu giỏi thì con trở về bển để chăm cứu 21 ngày. Trên chuyến đi máy bay nó lắc thì con nghe lời thầy nói trước đó bên ở Quay Mountain đó, con thử. Thì nó hiệu nghiệm quá thì con về Việt Nam thì có người cúng sẵn một cái tượng Dược sư rồi. Người ta order trên người ta cho. Thì về con mới bưng cái tượng con gửi bên chùa Sư Bà thì xá lợi nó sinh ra. Tổng cộng bây giờ con đang giữ khoảng gần 3.000 ngôi đó.
Okay. Okay, I got my answer. Yes, it's recent. It's recently. Okay, he talked about fasting, right? So the original question is why do you still feel pain and so much suffering from fasting? Okay, and we talked about the fact that it's because of something called the ego. It is the source of all your suffering. When you suffer, go back to the ego. You feel you're suffering, there's a source behind it. It's called ego. Okay, and so if you want to do something about it, then you have to do something about your ego. It's that simple. But ordinary people don't know what to do about their egos because they, as I said, they worship, they tolerate the egos, and they make the ego actually reinforce the egos, and that's why they can never put an end to the suffering, can never be happy. All right. So in particular, we talked about 2 nuns who are now in Jeju Island, who have been fasting for something like
18, 19 days now, okay? Fasting for 18, 19 days. It's a lot of suffering. And I asked them, why are you suffering so much? Why are you still suffering so much? After all this suffering, you still suffering. If you suffer this much, you're supposed to know how to end your suffering. And so the old abbot at JMT there says, yeah, I fasted and I meditated and I put an end to my suffering. That's what he's trying to tell you. The difference between you and him is that when you suffer, what do? You bitch. I told you we don't seem to get it. Don't be a bitch. You're bitching inside. I hate this, I hate this, I don't like this, I don't like this. What's the difference between you and the old abbot? Why is it an abbot and you not an abbot? Because instead of complaining and saying, Master is not fair to me and he's got me to do these stupid things, what did he do? He endured it. And he took advantage of the Chan Chi here for him to cross his legs, shut himself out, and not bother anything else. So he entered Samadhi and put an end to all his suffering, just like that. In contrast, what do? Every time you're complaining and whining, I hate this, I hate it, he's forcing me to do this, I hate this. And I don't have time for this. I have so much work to do. You're always complaining and whining and bitching constantly. That's why you're unpleasant. That's why you're suffering so much. And that's how you choose to live your life. It's no one's fault. You're indulging. You're reinforcing your ego when you know you're not supposed to. That's a difference. Am I making sense to you? You have the option here. You have to work for it in order to kill that ego that doesn't bother you anymore. You can, but no, you choose to bitch and moan. Any problems? You're hearing stories, such stories constantly. People, it's not just for Koreans, not just for Vietnamese, it's not for Americans, it's for anyone who's willing to do it. Then they get great benefits for themselves. We're not discriminating against anyone. Because the reason these people are suffering is because deep down, they resent me. They said, Master's forcing me to fast so that I'm so miserable and he making me suffer so much. Instead of looking at who's complaining and what can you do about it, instead of blaming me, the solution within you. It's not in me, it's not my fault. You're stupid enough to obey me, it's not my fault. Who told you to obey me? Huh? And it's not my fault. It's they voted for you to continue the torture. I made it very clear. For those of you who missed it, 2 days ago, they asked us whether it should continue to their fast, and so we took a vote. So it's not my fault. They all voted that they should continue. I have videotapes that, Okay? My God. You're so petty. You always expect me to fix the problems for you. Master, I'm suffering. Put an end to it. I taught you how to put an end to it already, but you choose to continue to suffer. I told you already, stop being a bitch. Stop bitching. Stop moaning. Stop whining. That's what the abbot did. The old abbot did that. You think he wasn't suffering? He's He's much older than you. When he fasts, he hurts a lot more than you, I assure you. All right? When you do these things, we're trading you because we're trying to reveal something to you, reveal what you're capable of. If you just do it. It's not about understanding, it's about doing it. You do it, then you know. Understanding is not going to help you. Any questions, comments? Furthermore, he also talked about medicine master responses he has, because I taught him about this Dharma door. Okay? I said, when you recite Medicine Master Buddha's name, you have all these great benefits. I tell you what, why don't you do it and you see it for yourself? So he did. So he showed you, he recounted to you some of the responses. And what interests me is not those things, nothing new to me. But you notice he said, I recited Medicine Master Buddha's name on the airplane, and no one knew about it, but when he went to Vietnam, there was Medicine Master Buddha statue waiting for him. Okay? That's a response right there. It's too coincidental to be, it's too rare, too difficult to be a sheer coincidence, okay? And therefore, you see, it's a response right there. If you have skills, you have responses, okay? It's all about you. You learn to develop skills to get responses from all these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They're glad to help you. What are they doing? What are they trying to tell him? I said, your recitation of my name worked. I certify that it works for you. By the turbulence in the air, stops immediately. Okay? It means that his recitation was very effective. Right there. Statues waiting for him in Vietnam is now the proof that says you can start teaching this Medicine Master Buddha Dharma. And the relics, 3,000 relics he has of purple, red, and pink are also messages to him that he has disciples who are enlightened and who are very good in chant. So, old man, you may accept disciples and teach them. And Medicine Master Buddha simply he confirms it for me. I told you guys already, I told you my 3 abbots are allowed to accept disciples. And it's funny that he decided to investigate Medicine Master Buddha Dharma, and the response showed that he's ready as well. Okay? Yes, JMT.
Như là Phật, con có một cái cảm ứng nữa là khi con bưng cái tượng nó qua bên Hàn Quốc trở lại đó, Thì con bỏ trong cái sơn thau nai thầy cho con á. Con sợ nó bể, con không có để cái gì chung hết. Thì cái sơn thau nai nó cứng hơn cái thùng giấy. Một thùng giấy khác con cũng mang số xá lợi khác của cô Trúc cho nữa. Thì qua tới hải quan khi mà lấy hành lý đó, thì con chó hải quan nó tới cái thùng xá lợi bằng giấy đó, cạc tông á, nó không có làm gì hết á. Tới cái sơn thau nai mà con chứa cái Phật Dược Sư ở trong đó, con chó nó ngoắt đuôi nó nhảy tưng lên. Thì lập tức cái ông hải quan ông nêm cái thùng của con lại liền, ông dẫn con vô trong liền tức khắc. Bưng vô trong thì 3-4 người lại thì mở khóa ra. Họ hỏi con cái này cái gì đây, con nói Buddha. Thì xé băng keo thì thấy tượng Phật thôi, thì xếp lại đem ra thôi. Rồi cái năng lượng của Phật nó cảm ứng tới con chó hải quan, nó cũng nhảy tưng, nó ngoắt đuôi, nó làm con bị kẹt vô trong thanh tra, kiểm tra ở trong. Giấy nó không có làm gì hết.
Emitofuo, Master, I also have another response. Is that when I brought the Medicine Master Buddha statue to Korea, so then I use your case that's given to me, because the case that you gave me, it was harder, and so I put.
What he meant by that is carry-on luggage. It's a carry-on. It's Samsonite.
So the carry-on luggage that I put the Medicine Master's statue in and several of the relics, and also another box, paper box. I put relics from Cô Trúc. And so when I passed to the security point, there was a dog that checking in, and they checked the carton box. It does nothing to the dogs. So then when the dog come close to the carry-on luggage that Master gave to me, which contained the Medicine Master Buddha statue, the dog somehow wiggle its tail in happy. And so then the security people stopped me from going, and then they wanted to open the carry-on luggage to check what's in there. So then I told them that I only have a Buddha statue, Buddha. So then they open it, they only see the Buddha statue in there. So the energy from the carry-on luggage caused the dog to jump in happy, and it wiggle its tail. So it also gave me a little bit of trouble. But however, the cotton box carry the relics, does nothing to them, does nothing to the dog.
Okay, don't transport any drugs, okay? Don't push it. Don't push the Buddha. Okay, very good. Anyone has any questions? Yeah, you have a question? No? No? A bunch of weirdos here. Yes, one.
Yeah, but Thầy, is the destruction of the ego somehow correspondent with your samadhi level, or is that something completely different?
Good question. Your ego has different ways of manifesting itself. Okay? And so the training you undergo in Mahayana is designed for you to shed, shrink your ego. Okay? And so that when you're ready, you'll be taught how to kill it. Because the ego itself has weaknesses, has manifestations that only Buddhas know about.
The non-Buddhists do not understand this process. That's why the non-Buddhist practices cannot kill the egos. Only the Buddhists are really killers. Ego killers, I mean. Okay? And so we understand how to destroy the ego. So it is a Buddhist trademark that you will be able, like many people before you already did, are able to destroy the egos. And it's a very big deal. Once your ego is destroyed, you really are an asset to society, an asset to your family, to society. You are an outstanding person. You really are a force of goodness. Okay? Yeah. Did I answer your question?
I guess what I'm trying to understand more about is what practices are more aimed at the destruction of the ego, and if it corresponds with our Chan practice of increasing our samadhi level, or if it's just, the mix of practices and different Dharma tours that we've been doing.
The way that in this era of the Buddhist teachers advocate is they advise us to specialize. For example, the Tibetans specialize in reciting mantras. The Korean Son predominantly like to specialize in the Huatou. The Chinese also are in love with the Huatou as well, but they're not very successful in my generation. And the Pure Land people want to specialize in reciting Buddha's name. So these people, I notice these people are doing what the Dharma masters or the enlightened teachers taught them to do, but with very limited success. And even when they're successful, they don't go far enough. So that's why Master YongHua, in contrast, Master YongHua's approach is much more multifaceted. It requires you to understand all these different ways of practices before you can teach it. Okay, I find it to be so much more useful because that's what we are doing. We're teaching you Medicine Master Buddha, we're teaching you Amitabha Buddha, we're teaching you Wan Yin, we're teaching you Great Strength, we're teaching you mantra, we're teaching you all sorts of things because all those are designed to help you progress towards eliminating your ego and get the results you're seeking. Okay? There's a process behind it. And what differentiates us from Master YongHua did is he provided the foundation, okay, to do that, okay? But what he didn't do is he didn't teach us the sudden teaching. And that's why you cannot get very far, get high enough if you don't have sudden teaching. That's his drawback. Yes, 4.
Master. So when you're saying like if we don't have an ego, we can still take care of ourselves and our family, how would we do that if I don't have an attachment to myself and my family to take care of myself? Or would I'm kind of giving an example, maybe it's a subtle fear. Would I give away all my savings to everyone if I don't have an ego? Because I feel like, that money in the bank account is my ego holding only for me.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of afraid, would I make choices that may be counterproductive to me?
We could, but very unlikely. Okay? I'm not trying to sell you. I'm not trying to make promises. Okay? It's something that when you get there, you understand why many people who are here have put an end to the ego. And they seem to be normal. No? Speak up. Okay? How about the other way around? You're saying if I eliminate my ego, what's going to happen to my bank account? Am I going to be able to take care of my family, of myself? Reasonable question. Okay? How about the other side? The other side of the wall. You're worried about taking care of yourself, worried about taking care of your family, worried about providing, helping the world, so forth. How about without the constraints and limitations your own ego puts on your efforts? When you're without the ego, you can do a much better job taking care of yourself, taking care of your family, contributing to the world. How's that? And that's the promised land we're talking about. If by eliminating the ego and learning how to restrain your ego, and it's harmful to you, why would people call it wisdom? It's called wisdom because it benefits you greatly, and you can benefit a lot of people. That's why it's called wisdom. Wisdom is supposed to be very good for you. It's the ego that's harming you, no one else. Anyone else? So we talk about these concepts that to the unfamiliar, the people who are unfamiliar with these concepts, it's good you raise the objection. That's should be raised, and that's a commonplace. Okay, so by asking these questions, you give us a chance to elaborate for people like you, newcomers who don't know much about Buddhism and why we're doing this. So feel free to ask questions. Okay, but we're not talking about revolution here. We're talking about evolution. It's not that easy to get rid of the ego. It's a fact. Very, very difficult. And most people cannot. And that's why there's someone called Amitabha Buddha who says, most of you will not be able to get rid of your ego, not this lifetime. Okay? So after you're dead, come to my Buddha land. I will take care of you forever until you become a Buddha. That's a promise. That's what he says. Okay? So that's why it's a way out for so many Asians who really believe in it. And they have responses reciting Buddha's name and so forth. Okay? And then there's also Medicine Master Buddha, that you see that, that you reach a certain level, like the old abbot in Korea there, when he starts using the Buddha's name, merely the Buddha's name alone. Look at the kind of responses he's got. He's not only helping himself, he's able to help a lot of people. Okay? There's a lot of suffering, you see? Yes, go forest. It's incredible. That's great news. You know, you don't realize that a few months ago, the old abbot was at Go Forest himself. He was very, very sick. He could barely walk. His body in such great pain. And look at him now. He's flying, he's sauntering around, flying to Vietnam and having a good time.
Thank you, Master. I would like to answer the question regarding the ego that our Dharma brother Dao in Way Mountain asked. It's not necessary that you say, oh God, now I'm going to have to give up my saving to others so that I can get rid of my ego. No, what my personal experience is, whatever you can, you give. You think less for yourself, and somehow the universe will come around and help you. Because many times I just, whatever I could, I did, and then financially, somehow the money just come. So I don't know how it worked, but it happened, yeah.
That's the nature of doing good. You never lose. Never, ever. In the history of mankind, history of Buddhism, whenever you take a loss in order to help others, you always gain. You never lose. Actually, life is very fair, folks. It's not as cultish as you think, as absurd as you think. Think about this. Okay? When you put money to help others through a charity act, okay? What it does is the more benefits your money does, okay? Those are the blessings you're creating for yourself. Whereas you put your money in your bank account, it doesn't create any blessings for you. All right? Point number 2. When you use your assets to help others, the more good you have, there's a multiplier associated with it. So that if you help, the more you help, then the benefits coming back to you is far greater than what you spend helping others. Because it's about how much goodness you're creating in society. It's the same concept. You want to make money, you have to provide a good and service, hopefully, that will benefit a lot of people. That's what people are willing to pay you for it. Same thing. If you help a lot more people, the sacrifices you make, okay, has a multiplier that's bigger and bigger depending on how much help you're creating. And that's something that ordinary people don't understand. They only see money earning interest, money increasing because of the stocks are appreciating and the houses are appreciating. That's small thinking. Your wealth, your assets, your blessings is proportional to how much you're willing to use what you have, making sacrifices to benefit others. That's a Buddhist secret. Because it's a multiplier coming back to you. That's how you get richer. Go first.
Thank you, Master. I would like to share the experience that I have after fasting. So I fast for 9 days. And then I only have like a day and a half to prepare for a Christmas party that have about 65 people come to my house. And I said, oh my God, why did I time myself like that? Now I just finished fasting. I don't have the strength. But somehow my body, it only sleeps like 2 hours per day. I'm able to organize and run the whole party. And then the weird thing is after the party, I continue to sleep only 2 hours per day. And then I went to work. And at work, there's always a case where we have emergency patient is bleeding after delivery. And I remember 2 days after my fast, so after the party, I went to work. The patient was bleeding because we don't have something wrong with the pharmacy. They didn't have the right medication that stopped the bleeding right after delivery. So I was responsible to admit the patient in from outside, but I know at that time there's no patient walking in. I heard the patient is bleeding. So I dropped the front. I told people that if their patient come in, call me right away. But right now, I need to be at the emergency site where I can help assist with the patient. I went into the room, and the patient already bled 2,500 cc of blood. and the medicine that need to stop the bleeding is not available at that time. So I told the doctor, here's the plan. Instead of using the medicine that we don't have right now because there's a delay in deliver medicine, use the equipment, and I was able to help do IV transfusion, fluid transfusion, and replace the blood loss, but also put in the device that will tamponade and suck out collapse the uterus so that it doesn't have the bleeding, the pore doesn't oozing out blood. And within 15 minutes from the moment I enter into that room, there's people running everywhere, but I stood back and I delegate. I say, you go do this, you do that, da, 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 da. And within 15 minutes, everything stabilized. The patient stopped bleeding. And then the doctor say, thank you for the team efforts. And I say, now everything is stable now. I'm going to run back to where I work. So I can see that the work that from after fasting, we can see the problem solving a different way instead of a traditional way that we put medication into to clamp down the uterus. And many different situations happen like that. So from the day I finished fasting until now, I only been sleeping 2 hours per day. But last night, with the first night, I was able to sleep for 5 hours. But function-wise, everything is still upbeat. So thank you very much for the experience that we have. Thanks.
It's a journey of discovery. There's a lot of things that you discover that we're not telling you, okay? Because we're not trying, this is not a sales event. If you're interested in doing these things, and you will find out gradually yourself. Yes, GMT.
Hello, Master. Merry Christmas. This is Sarah in GMT. I have a question is, when you're talking about the ego, I can feel, I do the reflection. In my work, sometimes I show the strong leadership, actually the behind which is driven by my ego. And sometimes it really helps me get the good results. And this kind of strong leadership is not only happening in my work, but also in my daily work. So after cultivation, I start to reflection more. And sometimes I can identify the behind is my ego. But most of the time, to be honest, I cannot identify it's the ego driven. So before I have enough wisdom, so how to do a balance on this, how to handle this ego?
I don't know. In your case, it's special. It may not be possible. Okay? It sounds so difficult in your case. Anyone has any ideas? To help the boss lady here? Bossy lady? No? No one wants to touch this? Master Ji, what happened to you? Someone is dying here too. Someone's ego is dying. We hope.
Master, I'm in the IV room, so not in the Buddha hall.
How convenient, good Lord. Okay, let me try to answer her. How don't worry about it, okay? It's, you will, if you continue to practice, to improve, you will see how wonderful that how much more help, how much more effective you'll be at work. The only thing you have to pay attention to from now until then and until forever is to make sure that you stick to the principles. You as a leader will not harm others. No matter what the reason is, no matter how well justified you are, you will not harm others. You follow those principles, then you are inching closer and closer forward. That's all. Yeah? Go ahead.
Thank you, Master. Yeah, actually, recently I can feel I can take more loose during the job, the work. So this is not happening before the cultivation. So now sometimes I know it's my loose, but I think it's okay to take the loose. So I think I'm harming the others less now.
Yeah. And you know what you don't know, if you have a good boss, he will notice that you have potential. He will invest in you. The good bosses are always looking for people to invest in, to develop. Always. And the bad bosses will not be drawn to you. They want to get rid of you. All right. Did we answer all the questions? God, we're running behind schedule. Can I finish my how do you become at ease here? Why are you not at ease? You've been talking all evening. Why are we not at ease? Because you're quoting Jeju Island people, bitching and moaning. Stop it. Stop bitching and moaning. Your ego is always justifying itself. It says, of course, this is not fair. This doesn't make sense. It's always calculating, it's always complaining. Okay? That's why you're never at ease, you're never comfortable. Because it finds a way to keep on complaining and complaining and complaining. This is why the fasting Dharma is so beautiful. Because the body is not used to suffering that much, so it complains constantly. And that's your ego right there at work. And that's when these events are so perfect for you, because if you're complaining, you're getting nowhere. But if you, like the old abbot did, if you cross your legs and endure it, something magical happens to you and the ego goes away. So it's not about me, it's about you. Are you willing to do it or not? We're telling you, we give you the environment to do it, but you are not willing. You are hesitating, I'm not sure about this. You're calculating. Instead, we are making available all these people who did it before you, who succeeded in doing it already. I'm not talking by myself, I'm talking about a lot of people who've done it already. Talk to them. They share their stories with you, how they did it. Very much like why we're studying these world rulers, because the sutra is saying this is what they're known for and what they're doing to justify their existence out of wisdom. All right? It's so cool. These are brilliant, superior people that ordinary people have no idea how extraordinary these individuals are and what they're doing for our world. They're so far beneficial, so far, so big that ordinary people have no clues at all. And we're hearing about them, we're learning about them.
And they did this because they're able to do it, because they developed the wisdom by killing the ego. After you kill your ego, then it's a lot easier to train you. You can make progress a lot faster through the certain teaching. Okay? After you finish, if you can rein in your ego, then the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas pay attention to you and they will invest in you. We're looking for talents constantly. This is just not good enough. It's not our fault. If you bitch and moan constantly, it's not our fault. All right, we stop here tonight. Thank you, everyone. I have Christmas things here. I am willing to share with 12 people. So, who would like one? There you go. Okay. Young lady, it's all yours. There you go. Share. Huh? Look at that. Merry Christmas. No wonder.